I think the best situation was when they called his name, he finally broke down and cried.
Yeah, he did, which I thought was genuine.
And that was that, yes.
Yeah.
But that was a very, very humbling moment. And I just hope that he can build from that because he's a good football player.
Draft. What teams, when you look at the draft, do you say, man, they had a really good draft?
I got to go to the New York Football Giants. I mean, they got Carter, and they got the quarterback Dart. They got Dart from Ole Miss, traded back into the first round because they had to leave this draft with a quarterback. And now they were able to get two of the premier players in the draft by what they did. So to me, I also believe it will help extend like their shelf life as the head coach and general manager because they got this young kid, Dart from Ole Miss, that they're going to give him some time to learn the system and everything. But he's got a big-time arm. He's a good-looking athlete. And it's kind of funny how the Giants were looking at Shedeur very, very seriously, and then they end up going back to Ole Miss, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Eli Manning was there to greet the kid and everything.
Yeah.
Tremendous irony.
Weird how that works out.
Dart played his hand better than Shedeur and them. But I think the Giants, they did a great job. I think New England, that left tackle from LSU, I mean, he is going to be a tremendous player. They got Travion Henderson in the second round, Ohio State, a flyer, a guy that can make big plays for them. I like Vrabel as a coach. I like the type of attitude that he brings, the way he coaches his team. They're always well prepared. So I think right there, the Giants, those are two of the teams right offhand that I really thought that they did a good job.
How about when you think they just missed it, dropped the ball, didn't get enough of a chance to improve their program or team they should have?
Dallas. I mean, they need someone next to C.D. Lamb. No, I do understand them building the interior offensive line. They've done that for a long – that's when they were successful 20 years ago by doing it that way. But they need another receiver. They need more playmakers and everything. So Dallas, to me, they could have done better.
It's funny you said about Ole Miss. Did you see what Lane Kiffin said about the kid that went to Miami? Carson Beck. You see what he said in the podcast the other day? They asked him about the NIL money. And he said they obviously didn't watch the film when he played us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They wouldn't have paid him that kind of money.
Yeah.
Because the money's crazy.
It's crazy.
The money is crazy.
It really. I mean, I got privy information to some kids going places. I'm like, defensive tackle from Syracuse. He got $1.5 million to go to Texas. It's offensive tackle for Virginia, like $1.3 million to be able to go somewhere. The basketball players too are crazy. FIU.
I didn't realize that. How crazy that shit's
because there's less players.
I know, but
there's
you
more
look
money.
at these dudes, I'm like, you ain't even gonna play
the kid
there.
that transferred from Florida State to FAU, he was asking, he had an offer of over $1.5 million to go somewhere, and he was willing to come back to FAU for $1 million. I'll play for him for $750. For real. They can give it to me in nickels.
But, dude, you have these kids that are not playing on the team they're at now. They ain't going to start the one they got now, and they're getting $1 million.
College football is crazy. College basketball is crazy. Like, this judge, man, they need to come down with more rulings and everything because it's going to be the wild west.
Yes. It is a dangerous, and it's funny, you bitch about the way it used to be. There's a lot more shit being flown around now, and it's so much more out of control. So you know about it, and it's legal, but it's crazy. You getting promised this, you not getting this. How long do I go here? What do I do? And I think that's even the thing with some of these smaller programs. You get to a point where it's kind of like you got to decide who you are monetarily.
Did you see I got a good relationship with Fran Brown, the head coach at Syracuse, and his wide receiver asked him for $2 million. And he went to the press conference and said, "Are you the homie from Ohio State? Are you Jeremiah Smith? Because that's the kind of."
Because if you are, I'll give you $2 million.
Yeah, I'll give you
I'll find that.
Because, man, these kids though, they're delusional.
Dude, it's funny. Even when you get outside of sports, it's like you get a dude making $80,000 a year in business. He makes $1 million. He's like, "Where's my $9 million?"
I think Shedeur's NIL evaluation this year at Colorado was $6 million. it was, if not the highest in college football, one of the top 5 in the college football.
But think about that now, how much money they can make in college for a couple of years. Then the contracts nowadays compared to, they get a couple-year head start, what the rookie contracts are compared to, what was the rookie contract when you were a rookie? What did a guy to get drafted first overall, what was he getting?
I don't know what the first overall, but we had a package of there was 3 receivers drafted in the first round. I went in the supplemental. And we got between $1.5 and $2 million total for a 4-year deal.
For a 4-year deal?
Yeah.
And what are they getting now?
$30 million, $30 to $50 million. I mean, $30 to $40 million those first 2 or 3 spots.
And they're making more than that per year in college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the top players are making $4 to $10 million in college throughout their career. Yes.
God bless them, dude.
The other thing about as you go through this whole draft processing thing, the NIL, Shedeur, Travis Hunter didn't take any NIL money. He gave it back to Dion so he can give it to the guys on the team.
All of it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Dude, the more I watched the draft, the more I thought to myself, he was a steal. Like, the more I was thinking about where you draft him, like, whether you get 1.5 players, 2 players, like, that's crazy. The more I thought about baseball mind, I'm like, dude, what would you pay for somebody who played shortstop and Pitt, and then you look at Ohtani, and you're like, dude,
that's the only way you can explain this.
Correct, because to me, that once I got my head around that, like, wait a minute, almost like I love Cam Ward, they need a quarterback, I totally get it, but it's like hard not to take him number 1 overall. Because you're like literally paying one dude to do 2 jobs.
Unless there's a quarterback.
I hear you. But outside of that, you're like,
yes.
Dude, this guy's actually coming in. It's like, hey, you're the best this and this in the business. You're the best of both things. We don't need to hire 2 people.
Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are the only 2 generational talents in this draft. I'm talking about generational. I'm not talking about a good player. Cam Ward's going to be a good player. He's going to be a Pro Bowler and everything. He can win a Super Bowl. But we've seen him before. We've seen him before. These other players, we haven't seen them. And I love Jacksonville, their general manager, youngest in football, 34 years.
Good for them, though. Go do something, bro.
That's what he said.
I didn't hear what he said, but go do something. Somebody's like, man, I think it was Gruden or something they got. I'm like, dude, go do something. Good for them. And you went and got a guy who called you a generational talent. I look at it and go, you're going to play on both sides. However much you're going to play on both sides, you're going to pack the fucking place out.
Yes.
People are going to come. We were going to Jacksonville the day after the draft. The next day after he got drafted, looking at billboards already everywhere.
Yes.
I don't know how he had drafted 8 hours earlier.
And there's certain guys, man, they have a different energy about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when you see it and you see how other players react to them, to me, one of the biggest misconceptions of Colorado was the lack of really Travis Hunter. And if he doesn't go there, they don't turn that program around. Mm-hmm. Dude plays 1,700 snaps, man.
Yeah, no, he's a different.
1,700 snaps last season.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through, these kids been playing 5-6 years in college. They want to play 1,700 snaps. 5 years of college.
And even when he came on the stage, it's different. His energy, the way he moves,
yes.
The way people gravitate towards him. Everybody's eyeballs are on him.
Yes.
And you pull for him. You can't not pull. I mean, I know people talk shit about him.
He survived all that stuff during the season with his girlfriend and everything.
And hey, guess what? He's going to figure it out. Some guy was like, man, if it doesn't work well, I said, let me be clear.
He a hell of a guy. Dude, take her to the party. She texts him when she's ready to go. Homeboy pulls up in the whip. Hey, Mom, I'm ready. Uber service. Uber service is here. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't hang out.
If he's happy, he's happy. Leave the kid alone.
The best part about him going to Jacksonville, not only are they going to use him, but his dad.
Yeah, is right there, yeah.
His dad now can travel, especially in the state of Florida, because he had restriction because he's on parole, paper. Yeah. You can't travel state to state. So now his dad can, with his homeboys from Boynton Beach, they can get in the car.
Watch all his games.
Let's go watch Trav play.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pulling for him, dude. And listen, I'm pulling for Shedeur. I really am. I'm pulling for him. I think he's going to do fine. I think that all of the stuff everybody does, I think smart people eventually make the decisions they need to make. And I think also if you're a great leader, that's kind of your job with people.
I think in this situation, a lot of people can learn from what he went through. And the number one thing is don't think you know more than what you understand. Don't think you know someone else's business better than they know their business. And don't think you're getting ready to monetize something and let people know what your plan was. See, Eli and Archie, they didn't let anybody hardly know what their plan was. Like, they were like, okay, Eli, I was watching the interview this morning. Hey, Eli, you're getting ready to get drafted. If you get drafted by the Chargers, what you going to do? He said, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Well, are you going to put the hat on? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. So he kept going through the formality. The Chargers drafted him. Mm-hmm. And then he waited with the plan and let the plan be played out, and then they traded for him. Mm-hmm. But letting people know what the plan was and trying to restrict who you might be going to, like, these are lifetime interviews. Like, people remember, a scout will remember your voice. He'll remember your body language. Because when you come up to be a free agent, he's going to be in the room. And I was in the back of the room when he acted a fool. I was in the back of the room when he disrespected our coaches. I was in the back of the room when he went over and dissertated to me the no huddle. He dissertated to me cover 2, cover 4, cover 3. He tore it apart. I was in the room. Mm-hmm. So that's what people kept saying. I was in the room. Mm-hmm. And that scout said that was the worst interview. Man, do you know how many jack-offs? Do you know how many stupid guys? You know how many guys that say, I don't care about the interview? You know how many guys did stupid stuff? And for one person to say, it's the worst one.
Who said that?
He didn't identify himself.
Got it. But somebody said that behind the scenes.
Yes. A current coach or a current scout said it was the worst interview he had ever seen.
You know, if we want to find shit out, we should let the Atlanta Falcons assistant coach know. Then he could tell his son, and then the entire world will know. So if we want anybody to know anything, we'll give it to him. So he said it was the worst interview he'd ever seen.
Yes.
Well, dude, his numbers are great. His tape's great. Mm-hmm. That completion rate's obnoxious. He don't throw the ball to the wrong team.
But it's just like, man, you prepare for a deal. You feel like you win the deal. Mm-hmm. But somehow, man, through the paperwork and everything, through the city, you didn't get a permit. Something
dude, trust and believe.
Somebody back-ended you, like.
Dude, I did construction forever. When them one guys came out, even though I knew they were frustrated because they didn't have my job, I was like, what you need? Yes, sir. No, sir. How can I help? I get it.
Yes.
Like, I that's what I've always had. I totally get it. And I just think that, but I think it's going to all play out well for everybody. And it was an interesting
I think the
draft.
best situation was when they called his name. He finally broke down and cried.
Yeah, he did, which I thought was genuine.
And that was that, yes. Yeah. But that was a very, very humbling moment. And I just hope that he can build from that because he's a good football player.
And I think he's a good kid and a good dude.
Yep.